The history of the hobo hand line doesn't just start and stop in the 19th century with the hobos and the transients. It's a piece of gear that we have used for hundreds and thousands of years. And I've made a couple to show off today and see if we can't catch a fish. We're going to go over some of the history of the hobo hand line, the reasons you might need it in your gear. Let's get into it. So these are the hobo hand lines and little fishing kit that I made at the house. Got it in this little canvas cheap little bag that I have. Now the first one that I made was this guy right here. I'm not as proud of. I had a couple mistakes, as you can see, with this. And it's not as smooth as I would like it to be. I did sand it, but I just didn't get a super good round shape to it. I did make this pocket up at the top to hold a cork and whatever fishing gear, but I didn't think of it till after. With this pin, it impedes the line from going off. So I think it's always good to show your failures, show what you messed up on, what didn't really come to fruition. And this is one of them. I'm probably still going to try this out today while we're out here at the lake, but I don't see this going very well. And with that mistake, let me hurry and tell you what tools I used to make this. Of course, I used a drill and my blade to hollow it out. The blade I use for this is my Oradad from Texas Hunting Knives. Not a traditional carving knife, it's a skinning knife, but it held up really great, and it's really comfortable in hand for carving. So this was really fun to use as a carving knife for this entire project. And I also used my Berserker from Timber Knives to kind of sculpt out and help carve. You can grip up on it with that bearded Viking axe and really get some carving done. So these are the tools that I used for the project, with a drill and a piece of sandpaper. Not the best I've ever done, but we'll see if it works. If not, the second part that I made is this beauty right here. More of a traditional style when it comes to the hobo fishing rod. It was a little more conical, but I ended up sanding and cutting that down so it'd come off the reel a little bit easier. And then I also added some linseed oil to really accentuate all this. I think it is a beautiful piece of wood. I really like how this one turned out. I did add a little storage spot down here in the bottom. Holds some hooks and some sinkers down here at the bottom. Nice tight fit. You can see it's got a crack right here I can use to have some string right here. And then I also have just this little elastic strap right here just to keep everything nice and tight. Also with this, I carved this little piece to go in right here. So if I've got my line really far out, or I'm out on the kayak out on the lake, instead of winding it around right here, I can wind it around right here. And what's nice about this design is if I wanted to, I can also use this piece to cork up this end and just have this little guy right here. Or just, if I lose this and toss this, I still have this to use as a little lid piece. So, a lot of versatility with this one. I'm really happy with it. I drilled some holes in the top. I took that from Auto Raft. Really like that idea, so I don't have to worry about where my hook is and try and tape it down and all that. I can just hook it up right here and it's not going anywhere. I really like that idea. I'm going to implement it onto more of these. And yeah, this is my little hobo rig. I'm really hoping it turns out well. And with my little fishing kit, so these are some pieces of wood I had laying around. And I just made this little fishing kit. I have these elastic bands on each end to hold it tight. This is also nice because it's not super heavy, but it's a lot of wood, so this will float in the water if it falls out of my kayak or something like that. And then I got this little Velcro strap right here. And inside there, I just have an assortment of everything I might need. And then I'll find bait out through here, find some worms to use. But yeah, this is my little hobo fishing kit. Now, with this project, I definitely had some ups and some downs, especially with that first one. We'll see how it handles out here, but I don't see it working out very well, and there was some design flaws I should have thought of beforehand, but you know, that's one of the fun things about these projects is you don't always get it right the first time. And I'm really happy I didn't, because then I wouldn't have made this beauty, and I really like this. Now, hobos and transients in the 19th century aren't what we think of today when we think of hobos and transients. These were hardworking men who would use the rail lines and other means of transportation to move across the country to find work on farms, as handymans, moving from town to town where they might live in a small town that doesn't have enough work for them. And I see a lot of myself in that. And one of the biggest things about the hobos and the transients is they had to survive for weeks on end with the gear on their backs while train hopping and traveling. So it's really interesting from the survival and the bushcraft standpoint to look back at the hobos and the transients on what they would carry to survive for weeks on end while moving through their mess kits, their food, and also their hunting implements. You know, they couldn't always travel with a large fishing pole if they're hopping in and out of trains and always on the road, and you want your pack to be as lightweight as possible, especially back in those days where they didn't have all the lightweight neoprene and all this stuff that we have now for our lightweight hiking. These guys were using canvas and leather bags for the most part, and they had a lot of weight when it came to their travels, so lightweight, small and compact was kind of the name of the game when it came to being a hobo and traveling and also providing for yourself. And that's where the hobo fishing rod really adopted its biggest implantation, is with the hobo community and fishing along streams and rivers as they made their way from town to town, from job site to job site. Big shout out today to today's sponsors, Summit Watch Club, for always providing the best watches. If you're looking to get a watch, check out Summit Watch Club. They've got a bunch of phenomenal brands, great people over there. They're close friends of mine. So go check them out if you're looking to purchase your first watch. And our second sponsor for the day, Timber Knives. Go check them out. Oh, I also have a Summit Watch Club hat on, so I'm just dripped out in the sponsor swag. They're good buddies of mine. But go check out Timber Knives. They make the axe I use to carve, and they got a great selection of knives. They got a great selection of axes. If you're looking to get your next axe or a knife, definitely check out Timber Knives. Back to the video. All right, I got high hopes for this guy. Okay. Works nice. Well, first cast. She works well. Got a good little cast. We're gonna get some bait on her. Get to fishing. Hobo community and fishing along streams and rivers as they made their way from town to town, from job site to job site. And what's nice about this is you can also attach a longer tree branch when you get there.
I packed up my truck,
Add it to.
said goodbye to my phone, left a gone camping sign. Now on my own. No meetings, no emails, no boss breathing down. Just me and the pine trees, far from the town. I'm gone camping and the world can wait. Got a campfire burning and a full dinner plate. The bugs may be biting, the nights might be cold, but this life in the woods is more pure than gold. I traded my Wi-Fi for clear mountain streams. My calendar's now full of blue sky dreams. No traffic, no deadlines, no alarm clocks ring. Just a harmonica and a sleeping bag swing. I'm gone camping and the world can wait. Got a campfire burning and a full dinner plate. The stars keep me company, the moon lights my way. This tent of mine, I could live every day. There's joy in the dirt and the smoke in my hair. Life's simpler and slower with no need to care. The coyotes might howl, the crickets might sing, but I call it freedom, not missing a thing. I got coffee in my cup, bacon frying on the pan. Waking up by the sunrise wasn't part of the plan, but there's beauty here in nature.
Well, we didn't catch anything today. I normally don't fishing on the banks of this lake, but I think I definitely want to get out on a kayak and try this out. I know that's not the traditional design of it, is being in a kayak, but I'd really like to try it in a kayak and also take this over to the river. I know I'm definitely going to have a lot more luck with the river. The second attempt works phenomenally. The casts, once I got down the hang of it, it was spooling off really nice and holding up really great. I got 20-pound line on here, so I'm not worried about breaking it or losing it. Good hook, good weight setup. I really like this. I hope you guys enjoyed the history, and I want to give a big thank you to Autoraft for his project of the month. If you want to make one of these this month, make sure to tag Autoraft Bushcraft. I'll have him linked down in the description below. An awesome challenge this month, brother. And until next time, go get lost, find a way. Peace.